in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Please welcome.
Please welcome.
Please welcome.
Welcome to the gayest podcast ever.
Hello and welcome to the Gayest podcast ever. I'm Josh and I'm here with
Eric
and CJ.
How you boys doing today?
Oh, good.
Great. How are you?
Good. Sun's shining today, so
Yeah.
It's Tuesday.
Thank goodness.
Tuesday, got a drink on our hand, right? Cheers. Virtual cheers.
Cheers.
Is this our third podcast that we've done in quarantine?
Yep.
Yes, tomorrow officially marks 2 months for me. 2 months.
Yeah, same for me.
Say the 12th.
Yeah.
And I hit 2 months today.
313, the day that Detroit got locked down on Detroit Day.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, and I went the Thursday before, was it? It was Friday the 13th, wasn't it? Nothing's been the same since.
Yeah, because we refinanced and we
Thursday.
signed our docs that day, and it was my last day. We got the email Sunday night, don't come back in the office.
Yeah.
Yeah, I took off that week for my birthday and then just never went back to work.
And doesn't it feel like, clearly it's been the longest thing ever, but it also blinked your eyes and 2 months have gone by?
Yes. I saw this yesterday. So when I first moved here, I lived in the hotel in West Bloomfield for 2 months. And I'm like, oh, it felt so much longer than this 2 months has. It's crazy.
And you could go places.
Yeah. Well, and I was working too. So I had long days. And now it kind of goes by a little faster because I sleep and watch TV and eat.
The first couple weeks were real rough, and I still have my little breakdowns where I'm like, I'm done.
Yeah. No, there's good days and bad days. You gotta take them as they come. So
yeah,
I told my parents the other day about how Pennsylvania stopped selling alcohol, and my dad was like, "That's ludicrous."
What? I don't know what we would do.
Pennsylvania stopped.
They
and then
don't sell alcohol during this whole thing.
And then Ohio, to stop people from crossing the border and bringing the disease over, literally wouldn't sell to people with Pennsylvania IDs. So if you had to show them your ID and it was Pennsylvania, you're like, no, we can't sell. We get a
Dude, you were pulling "Hey Misters" outside the store again, and you're over 21.
Right?
I'll Venmo you if you give me a fit.
Yeah. Here's a 50. Yeah. All I want is a handle.
Right.
Yeah, my buddy Steve is in Pennsylvania. He's in Pittsburgh, and he was like, "Pray for us. We need booze."
Can they not get delivered anyway? Possible.
Well, that's probably why producer Chad didn't go home to quarantine.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank God.
In Pennsylvania, all their liquor sales are done by the government. Their state liquor shops. So you have to go to a state facility and get all your booze.
Like an ABC
so when the
shop.
government shut down, the liquor shut down with them.
Well, that's
classier. Much classier.
Yeah. But so that kind of gets us into our first little topic, CJ. I think you're going to kind of guide us through what people have been doing and not doing and trying to keep their sanity. So, I'll just kind of turn it over to you. Why don't you spill the beans?
Yeah, so if you're watching, you're probably noticing my background's a little bit different than normal. I couldn't take it anymore. I had to get out of the house after spending so much time day in and day out. So I checked into a cute little loft downtown by myself just for some me time. And so I was thinking, what can I talk about? And I thought, let's do a poll on my Facebook about what people are doing to deal with stress during the whole quarantine thing. So I compiled everything. Surprisingly, there weren't very many. Everybody was saying the same things just about. But the number one thing that everyone's doing, baking and cooking.
I'm drinking.
And drinking, of course. But a lot of people, I think, have now rediscovered their skills in the kitchen or developed their skills in the kitchen. I know for one, I've tried some new techniques and recipes and had fairly success, but some misses too. What about you guys? Have you been baking or cooking any?
I've been practicing looking at different menus and seeing what I'm going to order.
That's beautiful. I love that. You should post all your pictures.
When it comes to like baking and cooking, anyone who knows me knows that I am the guy that was like, I'll just order some pizzas and bring that to the party, or I'll pick up some fruit tray. Like, I do not cook or bake. And quarantine has changed that. I think I've made brownies and cookies, 2 loaves of banana bread, and then I've actually tried some dinners. Like, I actually made like a sesame chicken dinner, which is probably one of the more things I've ever done in life.
Yeah.
And Spencer ate leftovers of it, so it wasn't terrible. I thought it could have been a little more flavorful. I think I've figured out that I kind of skimp when it says like add like a dash of salt or just like a dash of like garlic powder. I think I need to be a little more heavy on that.
Right.
I like flavor, and so it's something to work up to. But I've been trying.
So what
I've learned to cook, and I can't wait to not cook anymore. Like, I'm just over it.
Well, you have Dan who loves to cook, so he's got you
and
covered.
Bake, and it needs to stop. Like, every day, there's like a pie or a cake or bread or cookies.
Oh my god, that pie with the homemade dressing that icing that he did. I was
his homemade caramel.
I miss Dan's brunches.
Oh, you're right. So what I did find out with baking though versus cooking, like with cooking, going back to what Josh said, you can either add more or less seasonings or salt and pepper. Baking, you have to really stick to the right amount. And I discovered that the bad way while making cookies. Like, I was like, oh, that's about a cup. That's about this. And Steve was like, no, they will not turn out like, you have to be exact. And so this past weekend, I made a chocolate bundt cake, and it turned out beautiful. I've never made a cake before in my life, and it turned out really well. I was impressed, but I measured it out. I took the little scraper on the measuring cups and made sure it was just right. So there's a big lot of learning.
And I think that's why I enjoy and bake more than I do cook, because it's very scientific and it's very like 1 cup, and I'm one of the person that's like leveling it off. So I think that makes more sense to my brain.
I always hated chemistry class.
Exactly.
I was always like, this is fine, whatever. God.
If it starts smoking, hit this button.
I just like, have you ever seen Sisterhood
Start smoking, pass it my way.
Have you ever seen the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants? I believe it's the second one.
It's been, I don't know if I've seen
I've only
the
seen
second
the first one.
Yeah.
Well, Dr. Jackson Avery, I believe, is in the second one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
He stole my heart.
He's the little chef that's like trying to hook up with Rory Gilmore, and he's like, cooking's just artistic, and he's like, you just got to throw these flavors in there and peppers and stuff, and I'm like, that's how I like to cook. Like,
Exactly.
we become big fans of like stir fry over here. It's like really a thing now.
Well, with this cooking and baking, the next thing that everyone was doing is discovering exercises and yoga. So a lot of people in the poll posted that they were doing yoga. I've not done any kind of physical fitness whatsoever other than lifting wine boxes and stuff like that. But have you guys been doing any
boxes?
right? Any fitness routines or new things you guys are doing?
I did yoga for a little bit. We go on lots of walks. We take the dogs for walks. We've walked. I've seen the whole entire neighborhood, and my dogs can get home from any place in the city area.
I love that. I tried doing the 30 days of yoga with Adrian on YouTube. And I made it to like day 2 and kind of got bored with it. I did download a meditation app because I was starting to get very, very overwhelmed and anxious about everything that was going on. And so I did do that. And it just, even if I don't do it every day, they've taught me a couple of breathing exercises that I can do when I start to get overwhelmed, besides just popping a Xanax. Some self-breathing tips. But yeah, so I kind of did that, but we were really good about the treadmill at first. And then when everything started going to shit, it was just like, I'd rather have a box of Oreos and watch.
Right. I love that meme that it's like Chris Helmsworth is going to be posting videos of him working out online. And I think it's Rebel Wilson, like, eating ice cream, and she's like, me watching Chris Hemsworth work out online. I'm like, dang, same girl, definitely the same.
So we have the parking lot next to us. So with all like the parking spots and stuff, I thought, oh, okay, well, I'll go out and do like sprints like I did in high school. Like you run to like one close line and then back, and then you go a little further. Yeah, I almost about died that day, and then I couldn't walk for 3 days after that.
Yeah, I threw up a little bit just thinking about that.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
I might try the Planet Fitness thing, work out at home. I don't know. I'm really hoping that this is done in 2 weeks.
Next thing that people have been doing, and I know all of us have done, is home improvement projects. I've retiled the bathroom. I've prepped a lot of areas to do some stuff, ordered some things. I haven't exactly done everything that I want to yet, but everybody's taking the time to do home improvement, and I know you guys have been too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're refocusing on the backyard landscaping right now, and when you guys come over to go swimming, you'll see it. It's going to be beautiful. We're doing all like the border walls and the mulch, and for some reason he made all the grass in our front yard die so he could refresh grass.
We drove by and we're like,
you know what?
The hell?
I bet Dan did do something to make it, just like how the dishwasher broke so he could wash all the dishes now that he's furloughed.
No, he literally, this is part of like this Home Depot order we did. He was like thatching the grass and basically like murdered it all. And now it's just funny because all the robins are conspiring against him and all building nests around the house and eating his grass seed every day. So it's freaking hysterical.
Yep. So sad.
No dice. I think our basement is completely done now. I say that, but I don't think anything's ever completely done. I'm new to this home ownership thing, but I've heard that nothing's ever done, like ever, which is really not satisfying. But I will say that from the basement perspective, the flooring's done, the wall's done, the painting's done, the lights are done, furniture's been delivered, and it was super funny. The second that the couch got delivered to the basement, we ended up setting up a folding table because we haven't gone out and bought a table or chairs for downstairs yet. So we set up a folding table and a couple chairs, and we literally have eaten almost every single meal down there because our dining room became Spencer's office when I'm in the main office. So we've been having to eat all of our meals at either at the living room, like on the coffee table, or at our desk or on the counter. So we're like, oh, this is a new space. And so literally, the one day we ordered Italian, I put a candle out. We got tablecloths down. It was like we were on a little date night down. I brought the wine bottle down.
Nice. Our dining room table is being used for storage. So, like, we've got extra toilet paper, extra chips, extra bread, extra box goods. Like, you can't even see our dining room table right now. It's just storage.
Yeah, so it was nice once, and we've spending a lot of time down there, especially it kind of got cold and crappy, so we didn't need as much of the natural light. So, but we really like it, and we can't wait to show it off and have everyone over.
We're so excited, how to do it and see it, and just be around people soon,
right?
And go somewhere. I miss out.
I'm ready to ask the UPS man who wants to come inside.
Right.
Our friend Chris.
Something else, or I guess the last thing I'll talk about, which was a big thing that everyone's doing, is obviously Zoom. Zoom meetings, Zoom happy hours, Zoom trivia.
Zoom over it.
These, yeah. As much as I love Zoom and we get to connect with everybody, I'm a little over the Zooms. I just want to touch people and hug people and be around people.
I look forward to Zooming my friend in California.
Right.
I feel I'll use it more, but I'm over it.
Yeah,
I'm ready.
It's been a necessary evil, I should say, to stay in contact with people. It's been nice to reconnect with some people that I don't see in life. Right. I feel like, but it's also been, nice to stay in contact and see all the faces that I miss of family and friends and stuff like that. So, but I definitely understand where people are coming from, where they're over it, because, you really have discovered, especially like if you were Zooming like more than once a week, you're like, well, what are you going to talk about now? Like at first everyone was talking about like how you're dealing with it, what's happening and going on. Well, 2 months into it, we're all doing the same damn thing.
We're all doing the same thing. Yeah.
What was your day like?
It has been nice to, I guess, just discover Zoom. I never use Zoom because my work doesn't use it. But I would like to be able to use it maybe next time I'm on vacation or something. And then
From
I
the
could
beach
just
to rub it in your face,
like, hey,
look where I am.
Yeah. But I don't like Zooming from my living room or some strange living room, wherever I might be. Like, I just want to see you all in person. That's it.
I will say, if you do have to continue to video chat with someone, the Facebook Messenger app allows you to put filters on your face. That was a riot the other night with me and some of my girlfriends. We also were like a bottle of wine each and maybe a little more. But we were, oh my God, going through those filters, just laughing and having a good old time. So that's something to mix it up with. Then, put them on children. If you have nieces or nephews or whatnot, it's fun to see them and how they have fun with it.
I was going to say, before this whole Zoom thing, we have Messenger and FaceTime, just none of us used it.
Right.
It was when people FaceTime, you're like, why the hell are they FaceTiming me?
Right.
Text me.
Well, even now, my phone rings and I'm like, well, it's not spam. I want to talk to this person. I'm like, hi, how are you?
Oh, I'm not interested in buying it, but how's your day?
No, I'm not interested in a magazine subscription, but how are you doing?
Do you just want to read me the articles? I'll sit here and listen and drink wine.
Tell me a story.
And you go slower and do the voices.
Right.
This one's boring. What else do you have?
Well, is there anything else you boys are doing to kind of relieve some stress or deal with stress other than the stuff we've mentioned?
I don't think we can talk about that on here.
Well, yeah, I mean, it is adult X-rated, but we'll let everyone's minds consider possibilities.
And I'm praying every day that I just wake up and Gretch is going to be fetch and be like, this is over.
Big Gretch.
Congratulations.
Come May 28th, if she extends it again, she's no longer allowed to sit with me.
I do want to point out and just say a thank you to those people that decided to use their time and got out their sewing machines and have been making masks to give out and donate. That was a couple people did mention on the poll that they were doing that, and we applaud you. That's fantastic use of your time. So thank you very much for doing that.
Cheers to you.
Cheers.
Yeah. All right. And when we come back, I'm going to talk about some new music and stuff that's coming out, and one particular lady in particular. I love the way that you talk. All right. And we're back. So next up, I want to talk about the one, the only, Lady Gaga. Recently, she's been in the news because she was a part of that Global Citizen group, which raised a lot of money for the World Health Organization to fight COVID-19. And she raised $34 million or something insane, in days. Mm-hmm. And if y'all have the opportunity, there's a photo of her in her little office working, and it's who the fuck is this little businesswoman? I love it.
Is she wearing prosthetics on her face and everything? Is she
no,
I feel like she would have black cat glasses on.
Yes, and she's got a tight bun, and it's oh, this is Stephanie. This is
yeah, this isn't Lady Gaga. This is Stephanie.
Yeah, Stephanie, Joanne, Angelina, something or other, Giannotti or Germanoda. Or
a lot of names.
I looked it up, and then I was like, you know what? We're just going to talk about Gaga. But what I really want to talk about, and I kind of broke it down into a few different things, because I think Lady Gaga is an artist in every sense of the word, the way she does everything. And what I really thought was okay, she's a singer, she's an actress, she's a philanthropist, she's an ally for the LGBTQ community, and she's a fashion icon. Whether or not you agree with her fashion choices or not, it's iconic.
It's definitely iconic.
I'm glad you said that.
I mean, the meat dress has been inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame or something crazy. It's insane. But so I thought we kind of start at the beginning. It's 2008. She releases The Fame, which had Poker Face and Just Dance. Do you guys remember liking Lady Gaga when she first came out, or did she have to grow on you?
So my first impression of her was I think she was on not Dancing with the Stars, but So You Think You Can Dance. She did a little performance on that, and she had the glasses on, and the hair was cut here, so you couldn't see her face. But then she had this collared thing on. But I'm like, who is this little cute, like little petite person who's like just singing? And then the first time I saw her perform live, like on the Today Show or something, and she played the piano and tore it up. I'm like, yep, I'm a fan. Sign me up for whatever she does.
Eric, how about you?
She had to grow on me. I was
going to say, you're one that I know usually takes a minute.
No, yeah. I did not jump on the Gaga fucking party bus right away. No.
I was a little monster.
But you got to remember back then, I was still straight.
You weren't born this way yet.
I was not even married to my ex-wife at the time yet.
Oh.
Yeah.
Single straight guy out in the prowl.
I'm not a little monster.
But I had no problem watching all the Housewives. No problem.
That's hilarious. So I was just okay with Just Dance. Like, I thought it was fun. I loved Poker Face. I thought that was great. And then by, I think, 2009, like the next year, Bad Romance came out. And Bad Romance is when I was like, okay, I'm on board with you. I love this, like this pop dance type of thing. And I did find out she opened for the Pussycat Dolls. She opened for the Pussycat Dolls.
Interesting.
In 2009. And then right after that, she did the Fame Tour, the Monster Ball Tour, whatever that big famous concert tour was.
I went to twice. It was fantastic. Yeah.
I wonder if I can find that somewhere on like the interweb, like on YouTube or on one of those concert channels.
I think I have it. I think I got the DVD of the concert. So once this is over, you can borrow it.
I'd love to see that.
I do have to say that Born This Way was the song that opened my wedding, opened the dance floor at my wedding. I love that song.
Your gay wedding, not your straight one.
Yeah.
My gay wedding.
We have to clarify.
Why does it have to be gay? Can't it just be a wedding?
When you've married a woman and a man, yes, we have to clarify.
I'm sorry, Eric. Your first wedding or your second wedding?
Whatever.
You are a housewife.
Love you,
Multiple
Mina.
marriages.
Whatever.
So Born This Way came out in 2011, and I think by this time, like, she had won all those VMAs, she'd won some Grammys. Was starting to like really like get her like be. I think she went from being like, oh, a new artist to being like, oh man, she got some star power here.
Remember when she first came out though, and everyone was sharing the rumors that she was trans and that she had a penis, and they were all like, every little picture where the fabric folded just the right way, that look, there's her penis, there it is.
Dude,
yeah, just like poor Kate Middleton, anytime her dress folds, it's a baby. Like,
right.
There's just those people that the media constantly wants to like portray in a certain light, and I think that's because they are super successful. I don't know. It's my thought.
Yeah, if you got controversy, you're going places.
This is I don't know if I ever told you guys a story about when she came to Detroit and did a private tour of Greenfield Village, and my dad's the security there. And my dad took her and her ex-fiance around Greenfield Village and like didn't even tell me. He's like, yeah, that Gaga girl came to the village and I showed her and her boyfriend around. You know, they were nice people. And I'm like, what?
Gaga girl.
And like the dad was on that flight next to Nick Jonas and didn't realize it was Nick Jonas.
I'm like,
and he texted his kid. He's like, "Hey, I think I'm next to that Justin Bieber flight or whatever." And the son was like, "Take a picture. Let me see." And he's like, "Oh my God, that's Nick Jonas." That's like, and the dad's like, "Oh, he's really nice." Like, and the kid was like, "I can't believe you. Like, tell him I love him."
I might have told you all this story before, but my parents went to New York, obviously, before this was done, and they were at the Today Show, and some guy was talking to them, and they thought he was just a producer or whatever. And then the show segment started, and it was Vince Vaughn, and they'd been talking to him for like 30 minutes.
I feel like Vince Vaughn would shoot the shit with someone. Like,
Yeah,
he would
Vince Vaughn reminds me of my brother so much. That's my brother Brian's personality. They're like the same person.
And my mom's like, he was so nice. We thought he was a producer of the show.
Oh my God.
That's awesome. And so the other thing I think, and she got like Born This Way was huge. It sold like 1 million copies in like its first day or whatever. And Edge of Glory was a big radio hit for her. But then Art Pop happened in 2013, and it was not very commercially successful, and people thought, oh, it's like kind of a gimmick, and she's doing the same thing kind of over and over again. Right. People really got bored of her and were like, okay, like, what's next? And I feel that's when she kind of like had to like regroup and and I feel bad. I feel a lot of female music artists have to do this, kind of reinvent themselves, or you know, like how Taylor Swift always comes out swing in with a new kind of theme or motif, and I feel like Lady Gaga has to do the same thing.
Yeah,
Dad, have you seen Taylor Swift's documentary? Chad literally watches this documentary every other day.
Miss Americana, I've seen it 3 times, and then literally next Sunday is her ABC special that's going to be on Hulu the next day. They end up, because she canceled the entire Lover concert for the entire tour.
I don't want to talk about it because we were supposed to be in Saga Talk.
Oops.
Sorry. She ended up filming an entire show in Paris in the City of Love for the Lover album. And so she's like, you know what, just let's release it. Let's get with Fames with it.
Right.
Which I am all about. That's my little hand clap.
So Chad saw the documentary 6 times. Josh, you said 3.
Yeah.
Eric, have you watched?
Chad made me watch half of it one night.
I've watched it 0 times. Maybe that's what I'll do tonight.
It's really good. And if you've not seen the Reputation concert tour, that's also on Netflix.
Chad's like, want to Zoom? I'll watch it with you.
It's so good. It makes me fall in love with Taylor Swift 10 times more, and I think you will as well. I think there's especially a part about when she really, really pushed for becoming political, because she was not political. That was not her thing. She wasn't going to step on it. Kind of how Dolly Parton has always remained, in that I won't get political either way. But Taylor Swift was so upset about the Marriage Equality Act and the women. It was a law about how trespassers can come on. She had an experience with that, and this female in her state was lobbying to get rid of it. She's like, fuck no. So it's really good. Sorry, I digress from Lady Gaga. But so Art Pop happened in 2013, and it kind of and then so she had to reinvent herself. And so in 2014, she did the Cheek to Cheek album with Tony Bennett. That was really, and I listened to it a little bit today because I'm not a big jazz fan. That's just not my thing. And there were a couple good songs.
But she's got a voice for it. She can do it.
She did a few TV specials during that time too.
They were on a couple things.
Those were really nice.
Yeah. And so then around this time in 2015, she did the Academy Awards. I don't know if you remember watching, but she did the tribute to The Sound of Music, and she did The Sound of Music, The Hills Are Alive. And then literally Julie Andrews came. It was so good. It blew me away. And everyone was like, oh, Lady Gaga can sing, because she hit all the notes. And afterwards, Julie Andrews came out, and she was flustered. She was like, oh, Lady Gaga, that was so good. Gaga. She blew away Julie Andrews, which is just amazing. And so that was really cool. And then this is where she really got into the acting. She did American Horror Story. She did that Machine Gun Kelly horror movie, and Machete Kills, something like that. And then she did the National Anthem in 2016, did the halftime show in 2017, and that's when the whole Joanne thing started happening, which was much more kind of pop. And I really enjoyed the Joanne album. But I'm also more of a sucker for...
No idea what you're talking about.
Oh, really? With the hat and the pink hat?
It wasn't super radio friendly, and not a lot of the songs, because I think Perfect Illusion was the lead single, and it didn't sound like anything else on the album. But Joanne was on there. Million Reasons. You're giving me a million reasons.
That was really probably the biggest one.
That was probably the biggest radio friendly single from the album. But then at that time, she also went right into filming A Star Is Born, and that came out in 2018, and that was huge. I mean, the song alone.
But God, I want 2 hours of my life back.
I still haven't watched it all the way through.
Oh, it was terrible. I'm like, can we get to the point?
Yeah,
we all know what happened.
I mean, it is the 3rd rendition of it. So, I mean, it's a tale as old as time. But the music, again, is phenomenal. The music is so good. And that's what she won the Oscar. She won her Oscar for that. She was nominated for that.
She wasn't sleeping with Bradley Cooper, but then he broke up with his girlfriend 2 months later.
Allegedly.
And the girl got to, she got Taylor Kinney. I mean, props. If she's a guy and she got Taylor Kinney, good for her. Yeah.
Well, and I forgot she was engaged a second time. So she's been engaged twice. And
that's the guy my dad met. Was that the second guy? Yeah.
And now she's dating someone new right now, but it's all kind of new. And so what brings us to 2020 is Stupid Love was released in February. and I'm digging it. I like it. It's
I'm
a little
totally
more
digging
upbeat and poppy. And she's got this whole alien love theme kind of going on with the music video. And so the album was supposed to come out in April, and then it got pushed back due to COVID, and now it comes out in 2 weeks. It comes out on May 29th, I think.
I'm just waiting for the next single to be like the summer song for us. Like,
I bet any money we probably won't get a single this Friday, but I bet we'll get a single next Friday.
There better be multiple summer songs, okay?
Right.
Well, you've got a duet with Ariana Grande on there.
We got to have a summer first before we can have a summer song.
I love me some Ariana Grande.
No.
I haven't watched a lot of her YouTube music videos. Well, that's something I do in quarantine. I just go down a YouTube rabbit hole. One day I did 2 hours of live Whitney performances. It was the best 2 hours ever. Get a wet claw, enjoy.
I did a drag queen YouTube rabbit hole, and then I did a Marvel YouTube rabbit hole today. And just...
Well, Dan yesterday told me, he goes, I was like, would you maybe want to watch The Sopranos? And he's like, I'm not opposed to that. And I'm like, that's not a good enough answer. I'm like, it's like the best television show ever. And I do not accept that. Yeah. My parents finally started watching it. They're on like season 4.
I watched the pilot episode, and I was just like,
I just don't know. I don't like
it's just really
mobster movies and like mobster shows are my favorite.
My bestie Ryan has watched The Sopranos like 3 times, I think.
Oh, I think I've watched the series through probably like 10 times.
He loves it. He loves anything mobster. And
anything mobster. Yep.
But yeah, so she's just been a super cool person, especially for the LGBTQ community. I mean, Born This Way is clearly an anthem into itself. But even and she has her little monster. Doesn't she have an organization that fights to help raise money for LGBTQ centers, and I think it's called something, but she's got a whole foundation. I think it's Born This Way Foundation.
A ton of money and time, and she's very she's a very good person.
Yeah, and I just feel like everything she does is so genuine. And even when she was on RuPaul's Drag Race, when she surprised them on there, it just felt very genuine. She wanted to talk with them, and she wanted to get to know them. Everything she does, I feel, is very genuine. And I read, so she's from the Upper West Side of Manhattan.
It's called the Born This Way Foundation.
Okay, I thought it was something like that. But her parents came from nothing. So her dad was some internet web developer, and so that's how they got all their money. So she grew up with money, but her parents came from nothing, and so they really instilled, I think, a lot of hardworking values in them. And so I think that's why she's so multifaceted. I feel like she's someone who very much controls and steers her career the way she wants it to go, which is, considering, she's 3 months younger than me.
Right.
I feel like she is very good at reinventing herself, and she puts her toes in all these different little ponds. And I'm like, and that's how you stay relevant and, in the industry, and you got to bring out new stuff, and you got to be creative and take that risk, because if you don't, you're never going to know. But I mean, It is very scary, but I admire how she does not give a fuck what anyone thinks about her.
Yeah, no, I love her. I've never watched her documentary on Netflix, 5'2" or 5'4" or something like that. But I know she talks about her issues with fibromyalgia, and it was right around, I want to say I don't remember what year it was done in, but she's got a documentary on Netflix. Maybe I'll watch that. I did also
remember seeing it.
Roku just the other day was advertising to me there's a whole channel to watch concerts, and I was like, oh, I could go down this rabbit hole drunk in a minute. I
went to 6 concerts this weekend.
Right? There's no concerts happening. I'm just gonna watch them from my living room with my glass.
Oh my God, so funny.
Instead of $10 a drink, it'll be $10 a bottle.
There's some guy streaking down 94. We're like, that looks like Josh.
It just won't feel the same without Chad and Dan with me at 3 a.m. watching Shania Twain's Horse.
I'm like, go to bed.
We stayed up till 4 a.m. That was a school night. It was a Sunday night.
Summer will be here soon enough.
And we're going to be able to small groups, and we'll be able to...
You want to bust into song together again?
Yes. But yeah, so cheers to Lady Gaga. May you find success with your new venture. And
Cheers, Gaga.
you can buy your thongs and jock straps, that you're
I
selling.
can't wait for that jock strap.
I love the way that you talk.
Okay, and we're back, and I'm going to turn it over to Eric. And Eric, why don't you take us to Dreamland?
Oh, what a little entry we did there. So the other day we were all just kind of talking via text, and I know DJ said he had talked to you separately, Josh, and then we had talked, and he was like, have you watched Hollywood on Netflix? And I hadn't heard anything about it. So I watched the trailer, and I was like, all right, well, yeah, this looks intriguing. I don't really watch a lot of stuff by Ryan Murphy. So
I was wondering how you didn't know about it. That's what confused me.
I don't watch American Horror Story. Like, I noticed that, like, a lot of the actors that are in his stuff were in the show. So I was like, okay, like, let's give it a shot. So we started it, and then, we were hooked, and we binged it in, like, we started at night. We watched 4 episodes, and then we watched the other 3 episodes the next morning. And it was
only 7 episodes because it was a limited series, but I think it told a complete story from front to beginning. And I was happy by the end of it. Like, I felt okay about it.
So, like, the synopsis is it follows a group of aspiring actors and filmmakers post-World War II as they try to make it in Hollywood, what was considered Hollywood's golden age. It spotlights the unfair systems and biases across race, gender, and sexuality. It shows what the entertainment landscape might look like had they been dismantled, is like the synopsis they gave for it.
Yeah, it was like, I just kept thinking, what if?
Yeah, I called it historical fiction.
I was like, there's fact and fiction, like there are some real characters.
Well, and when you guys were watching it, I don't know about you, I constantly, I'm a fact checker. I was fact checking almost everything. So it took us several days to watch it because
I was on Wikipedia and stuff the whole time.
I was on Wikipedia, but I'm sure Wikipedia's just going to start recommending Golden Age of Hollywood articles to me because, that's all I've been on.
Well, I just tried, obviously I knew Rock Hudson was a real person, but I'm like, okay, who else? Like the Jack Castello, he was not a real person. So, I was trying to put together who was real and who wasn't.
Yeah, but I don't want to give too much away because I don't know who's watched it or not, but you should definitely watch it. But I remember me and Dan were like, watching the one episode where they go to the awards and the one couple decides to go and they were going to declare and we were sitting there like, no way is this happening. Like Rock Hudson would never do anything like that.
Right.
So then you're like, oh wow. But then I 10 minutes later into it, I was bawling and I was like, why can't we all just be accepted?
I cried almost the entire Oscars episode.
Right. Well, it had a nice what if feel, but it also left you feeling hopeful for a better future than what we personally lived and saw throughout history.
Well, and I heard Ryan Murphy say one of the reasons that he was super excited that they were going to keep the premiere of it around this time was that he says it's real hopeful and it's real it should be uplifting, and he's like, that's what the world needs right now. So he was really happy that he thought it was kind of big picture that this is when it was supposed to come out.
And I really love the intro of them climbing on the back of the
Hollywood sign. So good. And then how they played it and they were making the movie and they needed the letters that way. I loved it.
Yep.
Well, and I thought it was so cool by almost either the second to last or last episode, and we watched it. And I'll admit, once or twice I was like, skip the intro, I want to see what happens. But we did watch, and as I was watching it, as it got closer to the end, I was like, look how they're all helping each other.
Yep.
And that was one of the big things, the big goals was individually, none of us can get through this, but together we are a force. As long as we all help each other, in the backs of one another, they can't tear us all.
You're saying that we're all in this together?
Yeah, but I was really moved by that, and I thought it was really lovely.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the whole story, if one of the characters had said no, then it would have changed everything. But it was a nice story where everyone said, yes, I'm going to take a chance on this, and it worked out beautifully.
I didn't realize at first, because I love Judd Apatow movies, and I love his wife, Leslie Mann. And I didn't realize that was their daughter. And I was like, that girl looks familiar.
Oh, okay.
I know her from.
Jack Castello's pregnant wife.
Yeah. But she was in Knocked Up, and This Is 40, and I was like, oh, that's her.
Henrietta, I think her name on the show was.
Yeah, and there were so many big stars in it. Like Darren Criss was in it, Dylan McDermott was in it, Jeremy Pope, Holland Taylor, Jim Parsons blew me away. It was so far from his Sheldon character.
Right. And that's what he needed, I felt like.
Well, and that's me and Spencer talking about. I wonder if this was purposeful to especially get, because Sheldon was such a iconic character that was very, like, could be considered very one note for him. I wonder if he really wanted this role because it was so left field from what he's done.
A lot of these movies. He was in the movie, the ABC special they did with, like, Rachel Griffith. It was like a 4-part miniseries. And then he was in the one with Mark Ruffalo and Julia Roberts about when the AIDS crisis started. It's like, I feel like
and I think
a lot of, like,
those have Ryan Murphy ties.
Right. Oh, do they? Shocking.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Patti LuPone was in it, like Mira Sorvino.
She was brilliant.
I was going to say, like, I thought a good chunk of it was like a little bit of overacting, and a lot of the cast is really young and unknown, a lot of the main cast. But I thought if they do get any type of awards recognition, I think it'll be Jim Parsons and Patti LuPone. I just thought they were standout, stole the scenes whenever they were in there. I loved Patti LuPone in it. She was Mavis.
Mavis was great. Rob Reiner, I didn't even recognize him. I was like, Dan was like, "That's Rob Reiner, right?" And I was like, "Yeah." It was so good. I thought they all
when you hear him
did a
speak,
phenomenal
you
job.
kind of get a little bit more. When you hear him talk, you're like, I know that voice, and you're like, oh my god.
It made me want more. I was like, please make another.
I feel like he could almost do, and he's like, it's kind of left open to it because it's a limited series. I feel like he could almost do another like Hollywood and do a whole nother cast of characters, a whole other like, type of ordeal. Because I think one of the great things that he did was he plucked a lot of different scenarios. Like he really focused, I felt like, on Rock Hudson, which was one of the big ones. Anna May Wong, who was real as well.
Yes.
And the Earth movie she really wanted to do, the girl really did win an Oscar. She beat her for the same role. She wasn't Asian. She was real. And then
Queen Latifah playing, what was her name?
Patty McDowell?
From the Gone with the Wind. Like, she was the maid in Gone with the Wind.
She was the first African-American actress to win, and not another one won for 50 years, till Whoopi Goldberg won for Ghost.
Yeah, so that was really nice. Those times where I did go and find a real person, like discover them and learn a little bit facts
Jim
about
Parsons' character was real. Jim Parsons' character was real.
He's like the Harvey Weinstein for the gay culture.
Pretty much.
Well, and that's what and me and Spencer were talking a lot too, like when we were pausing, and a lot when they talked about that whole, they kept referencing the Hayes Act or the Hayes Code. I think it was the Hayes Code or something like that, but it was a recommended amendment by like the Motion Picture Association that they couldn't show interracial couples together. They couldn't show a couple in bed together. They couldn't show anything of a lewd acts, which kind of like was homosexuality.
Right.
I think it's called the Hayes Code, if I remember correctly. But they referenced it a lot towards the end of the series when they were talking about especially casting a biracial couple and stuff like that. Like, this will violate the Hayes Code. And it was a real thing. Like, literally, motion pictures, like the association said to companies, you cannot show that. Like, we will, take you out. And it was eventually disbanded in like 1968 or 60. It took a long time. And that's when the rating system came out. Like, it was rated R, rated PG-13. That's what replaced the Hayes Code or whatever. Mm-hmm. I apologize if it's not Hayes.
It is Hayes. It's Hays, yes.
Okay.
I love the scene where she is going to the Oscars and they are not going to let her go to her seat. And she's like, I will scream fire in this building and nobody will be going to the awards. I was like, you go, girl. Like, hell no. And then the one scene with Joe Mantello, he played Richard Dick Samuels. When he went into that bar and sat down for the first time, I was like, flashback. Like, I remember walking into my first gay bar, like, oh God, what if somebody sees me? Like,
I feel like every closeted gay man has had that feeling, that scenario. And this is the difference of 70 years, and it's
Right,
still
exactly.
happening. Like,
Well, I mean, when we came out, the worst, I say the worst, I mean, we could have been killed, but like people would have made fun of us or beat us up. Like these people's entire lives would have been destroyed. Like they would have lost jobs and family and everything.
mm-hmm. Crazy. But yes, you should definitely watch Hollywood if you have not. I highly recommend it. We got Chad and Chris to watch it. They watched it over the weekend.
Yeah, it's a fast watch, but it's a good one.
yeah, definitely though. Like my sister's watching it, and she was like, she was, can I have it on like while like the kids are on? I go, no, not with children.
There's
I go, there is full frontal male nudity.
I had this exact conversation with my mom, and I was like the third episode, there's a lot of like full frontal male nudity, but then like when you're talking to your gay friends, you're like, oh, pay attention to episode 3.
right.
Right. I heard you and CJ was saying there's a pool party episode, and I was like, I can't wait. And then I was like, they're all talking about, and that guy was real. The host of the pool party.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
He directed Gone with the Wind.
Yes.
Or produced it.
Oh, I didn't know that Vivian was crazy either. I want to know if that's true or false.
Dude,
I think
he died
it's true,
at 50 something, and she was, they believe, bipolar.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah. She took a lot of pills, a lot of alcohol, a lot. Yeah, she died real young. She died in her 50s because of.
And it's so crazy, like what they didn't know about like medical back then. Like as soon as like Dylan McDermott was like coughing, you're like, oh.
Right.
Oh,
I was like,
it's like he's got the lung.
Right. Speaking of Dylan McDermott, if you don't follow him on Instagram, please do. First of all, him and Leslie Jordan are like BFFs, but he's been doing one-on-one chats through video with the entire cast. So he's done just like 10 minutes each, and they just.
I watched on Patty LuPone.
Yeah.
oh, she was on NPR the other day when Dan was listening. I was going to ask you. Oh, Josh, did you see The Office Wedding?
I just read about it, and I was really busy at work, so I haven't got a chance to go.
Oh, you should watch it. It's really good. They like redo the dance. It's so funny.
John Krasinski and Emily Blunt. I'm just a fan. I love them all so much.
I hate that I can't think of her name, and I have to refer to her as this, but who is Sarah Paulson's wife?
Holland Taylor.
She's phenomenal. And I loved that when Dylan McDermott and her did their little one-on-one, Sarah Paulson was in the background, and she just kept running around and popping in the camera every now and then. Girl did not like dress up at all. She had these giant glasses on. Her forehead was 10 inches long, and she even makes fun of it. She's like, how much worse can I look?
Well, because Sarah Paulson is a Ryan Murphy.
Right. He takes care of his people.
Yeah, you want to get in that Ryan Murphy circle. He's like Shonda Rhimes. They just circle him around.
You're going to constantly have work. Ryan's
that's what Patty LuPone said, is that he lets you take chances, and he brings you in, and he's like, all right, last time you played this character, now I want you to be this character. And I was like, well, yeah, like if you're a good actor, you should be able to do that.
Yeah. And one of the big things he also believes in is that he gives like older women in Hollywood like starring roles. Because that was one thing he's very he's like, just because you're an older lady does not mean you shouldn't get a good role.
Right.
I mean, Holland was on 2.5 Men. Her character was hilarious. She played Charlie Sheen's mom. She was so good on that show.
Yeah.
I love it.
Speaking of Ryan Murphy, he did just announce that they're doing sort of a spin-off of American Horror Story. It's called American Horror Stories. Plural, so each episode will be a different storyline. It's
going to be like the Twilight Zone.
Sort of, yeah. I think
Tales from the Crypt.
I would like that. I mean,
that's it. It's Tales from the Crypt.
He's going to keep his same people that he has cast, and they can come in for 1 or 2 episodes and go do something else.
That $1 million paycheck and then leave. Cool.
Exactly.
Because he's got a Netflix deal. Ryan Murphy, to develop content like Shonda Rhimes does and Dan Levy's got now. I think Lin-Manuel has one with Disney, but it's all crazy. And these people, they're just like, develop content for us. Here's $45 million.
Right. Well, let me think about it.
Right.
Okay, well, thank you. Yes, and like Eric said, if you haven't watched Hollywood, it's on Netflix. Very good, 7 episodes. Enjoy.
And take me to Dreamland when this is all over, so I can wake up and we can go to the bar.
Yeah.
Please.
And like it was the one thing, like Spencer, especially with his architect background, he's constantly like, look at the sets, look at the costumes, and they were all very, very beautiful.
Right.
It was beautifully shot, just wonderful to watch. So, all right, well, when we come back, we're gonna play a little game.
Yeah, I love a game.
Kind of like take us to Dreamland.
I love the way that you talk.
Okay, and now we're back, and we're gonna play a little game that I call Now and Then. And it was kind of inspired. We finished Hollywood Sunday night, and Monday I was like in the shower and I was like, oh, like I wonder like how it would be like now and then. So it's just a kind of like a little bit of trivia, kind of ends with a little bit of, you know, some men's that we like to look at.
Okay,
Nice.
All right. So first up, which person has the most Oscar nominations for acting? Laurence Olivier or Jack Nicholson?
Laurence Olivier.
CJ?
I'm going to say nominations, Jack.
It is Jack Nicholson.
Wow.
Jack has 12 Oscar nominations, which blew me away.
Well, he's
And
been
actually-
in everything.
Yeah, and Jack has won 3 times.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lawrence only won once for Hamlet, but he's been nominated 10 times.
As good as it gets. That's such a good movie.
Such a good movie.
So as I was going through and creating some trivia questions, I definitely wrote down a couple movies that I was like, oh, I've never seen that. I really should.
Oh, Something's Gotta Give is great with him and Diane Keaton. I love it.
Yes.
Yeah. That is complicated with Alec and Steve and Meryl. Great.
Nice. All right. First animated film to be nominated for Best Picture.
Ooh. Beauty and the
Snow
Beast.
White. Oh, I forgot. I got to read it because some people just do the audio. So the first animated film to be nominated for Best Picture: Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, 1937, or Beauty and the Beast, 1991.
Beauty and the Beast.
I'm going to say Beauty and the Beast 2.
You guys are correct. Beauty and the Beast was the very first animated film nominated for Best Picture. While it lost to Silence of the Lambs,
That's a different.
right? It did win the Academy.
That's definitely a Beauty and the Beast.
Right. She puts the lotion in the basket.
Right. Hello, Belle.
And the basket talks back to her.
Hello, Belle. That was creepy. I don't like it. It won the Academy Award for Best Original Score and Best Original Song for the title song, made famous by Celine Dion and People Bryson. Snow White was nominated for Best Musical Score at the Academy Awards in 1938. And the next year, Walt Disney was awarded an honorary Oscar for the film. It's the only Oscar that's unique. It's a normal-size Oscar, and then plus 7 miniature ones around it. It's the only Oscar in history that doesn't look like the normal Oscars that we're used to.
Cute.
Okay, next question. Which film had more Oscar nominations? Gone with the Wind, 1939, or La La Land, 2016. So if you haven't caught on yet, what I did is I took a movie from the golden age of Hollywood and a movie from today, and I was like, oh, there's so many comparisons. So which film had more Oscar nominations, Gone with the Wind or La La Land?
I want to say Gone with the Wind.
I'm saying Gone with the Wind too.
La La Land.
Interesting.
La La Land had 14 nominations, while Gone with the Wind had 13. So only by one.
Did Gone
La La
with the Wind?
Land went on to win 6 Oscars. It did lose Best Picture, most influenced me to Moonlight. That was the year they read the wrong.
But La La Land lost Best Picture, but they thought that they won. So.
Yes, so and Gone with the Wind won 8 Oscars, and it won Best Picture over The Wizard of Oz. Which
Nice.
like we'll talk about a year in film. Gone with the Wind,
Right.
And Wizard of Oz?
That was an interesting fact in Hollywood too. I wonder if that's true about the Somewhere Over the Rainbow score, that they wanted to take it out of the film.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, there was a lot lot of little tidbits that they threw out there. I was like, ooh, I need to fact check that, and I didn't because there was so much.
Fact check that and get back to me.
Will do.
Check that.
Right on top of that, Rose. Which film won more Oscars? Casablanca, 1943, or Slumdog Millionaire in 2008?
I'm saying Slumdog.
I'm going to say Slumdog as well.
I feel like they won all of them.
I was shocked. It is Slumdog Millionaire.
They killed at their year.
Yeah, I
it was
remember
Slumdog everything.
Every single thing was like bam, bam, bam.
I did not know that. Slumdog Millionaire won 8 Oscars with its 10 nominations. Mm-hmm. Casablanca, which is like known as one of the greatest films of all time, only won 3 Oscars and had 8 nominations.
Wow. You know what? I've not watched either of them.
I saw Slumdog Millionaire, but I've never seen Casablanca. I did put it on the list.
I've seen Casablanca. You're not missing anything.
Slumdog Millionaire is about...
that's how I feel about Breakfast at Tiffany's, too.
Oh, yeah. Slumdog Millionaire is about who wants to be a millionaire, right?
Yeah,
I do.
Yeah.
I want to be a millionaire.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was about the TV show.
Yes, it's bizarre. Okay. Who has won more Oscars for acting? Katharine Hepburn or Meryl Streep?
It better be Meryl Streep. She's nominated. I mean, I Beat Meryl. So it should be an Oscar category.
Well, my heart wants to say Meryl because I love her, but I'm looking at the wording here and it says who won more. I feel like Meryl's probably been nominated more. I'm going to say Katharine probably won more.
The answer is Katharine Hepburn. Katharine has 4 wins while Meryl only has 3. But Meryl is the most nominated actor of all time.
I don't understand why the popular vote never wins. The popular vote should count for something.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, and like the next most nominated actor or actress has like 13 or 14. Like Meryl has got like almost double digits on them. So it's definitely a record for the ages. Okay, which movie had less nominations but won more trophies the year it was nominated? So which movie had less nominations but ended up winning more? West Side Story in 1961 or Chicago in 2002?
I'm going to say Chicago.
I'm going to say Chicago too.
West Side Story.
Interesting.
West Side Story had 11 nominations and went on to win 10 categories, including Best Picture. Chicago, while it had 13 nominations, it was the most nominated film that year, it only won 6 categories.
I'm surprised that it had that many nominations.
This game is crap.
I'm shocked it had that many too, but if you remember, Renee was nominated, Queen Latifah was nominated.
Yeah.
Catherine Zeta-Jones won. She was pregnant.
Right.
She was super pregnant.
Yeah.
And it was, I like this, it was the first musical to do so since 1968. So musicals were big during the golden era, but not so much after. All right. Which person has won more Oscars for acting? Marlon Brando or Daniel Day-Lewis?
Marlon Brando.
I'm going to say Daniel Day-Lewis.
Daniel Day-Lewis it is.
I
was shocked. Marlon Brando has more nominations, but he's only won 2, whereas Daniel Day-Lewis has won 3, and he's been nominated 6 times. But yeah. All right. So I know we were talking about Henry Wilson. He was the sleazy director, or the sleazy talent agent.
Yeah.
But so I love that his Wikipedia entry says that he's known for developing the beefcake craze of the 1950s.
I'm looking at these names, and yes.
So I saw the names. I was like, what? I didn't know all of them. So I was like, let's look some up. So some of his clients included Rock Hudson, most notably, Tab Hunter. And if you've not seen Tab Hunter Confidential, I think it's a documentary on Netflix or Amazon. Do it. You will love it, especially knowing now what you do about Rock Hudson and Henry Wilson. I watched it about a year or 2 ago. I didn't even know who Tab Hunter was. A, super cute. B, oh my God. He was like best friends with all of like the hot divas of like the 1950s, and they all wanted to be his like gay best friend.
Yep.
Okay. So take a look at some of these hotties. Troy Donahue, I don't know who you are, but I want to know.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah, Guy Madison reminds me of Luke Perry. Like giving me the James Dean vibes. I don't know who this John Saxon is, but
John Saxon is cute.
Yeah.
John Saxon's given me seductive eyes, and I like it.
Right? Rory Calhoun was the guy that in real life, when Henry Wilson, when there was something going to come out about Rock Hudson being gay, like caught in a gay affair, he sacrificed Rory Calhoun to the media, like to the Hetty Hopper, to the he's like, oh no, like, because he knew Rock was going to be a bigger star. So he's like, if you don't run that, I'll give you this.
Okay, that makes sense now.
It was about Rory Calhoun. And technically, in Hollywood, we see Rory Calhoun for a hot second. He's one of the actors that is in the back room where Henry Wilson, like, takes Rock Hudson. And he's like, I promise we're going to be good. But now I need you to fool around with these two other clients. Technically,
Right.
Rory Calhoun's supposed to be one of them, according to the IMDb.
And Rock Hudson was a dreamboat. Like,
Oh, so
so
hot.
sad that he died of AIDS.
Yeah, I was talking to my mom about it, and she was like, oh, Rock Hudson and Doris Day. She goes, they had all those movies together. She goes, I had the biggest crush. Like, I was like, yeah, he's a dreamboat. Like,
Yeah, he's super handsome.
yeah. But every time I do the name Troy Donahue, I figured out why it sounded familiar to me, because I think in Grease, when Rizzo is singing "Look at Me, I'm Sandra Dee," I think one of the names she says is Troy Donahue.
Yes.
Troy Donahue.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I was like, I go, how do I? And I thought maybe it was like because of the journalist Phil Donahue, and I was like, that doesn't seem right. Like Troy Donahue sounds familiar,
Right.
But then it hit me like a shit ton of bricks.
Yeah, that's him.
But yeah, I just thought they were all so handsome, and what a different age of Hollywood it was.
And look, I have a new screensaver.
Yeah, all of these photos are saved to my desktop. I was like, I'm gonna get rid of these later.
Right.
But yeah, just an all very square jaw. I was like, Henry Wilson definitely hit a type. He loved that square jaw and get him nice and beefcakey.
Oh, he would love Matt Wright with that little jawline.
They've all got good hair. I mean, it's good.
Yeah, so that's what I got for that. And while we were finishing up playing that game, producer Chad, the ever little detective that he is, did fact check us and found out that Louis B. Mayer, the head of MGM, was, according to one report, said that Somewhere Over the Rainbow was too sad, and it was almost cut from the film during the process of test screenings and final editing in the summer of 1939. They were like, why is Judy Garland singing in a farmyard? Oh my gosh. The manager of MGM Studio claimed that the song slowed the pace of the movie, but producers Mervyn Leroy and Arthur Freed argued passionately for the song's inclusion. And Mervyn threatened to quit the film if the song was cut, which is insane because it's so iconic.
Yeah, I mean,
it's probably one of the most iconic songs in films.
Even if you've not watched the movie, and shame on you if you haven't, like, Somewhere Over the Rainbow, like,
Yeah.
come on.
We're going to be there in just a couple weeks. It's going to be Pride Month.
Somewhere over that rainbow, we'll meet at a bar.
Somewhere like Lemon Drop Shots.
Somewhere over that rainbow sidewalk on 9 Mile, we'll meet at a little bar called Soho.
I love it.
Oh, we can dream. Take us to Dreamland.
That's the Dreamland.
Please do.
All right, boys. It's been fabulous chatting with you. I love you so much. Cheers. And to everyone out there,
Cheers.
please remember to rate, review, subscribe, share with friends. Best compliment is a download and a share. Love you all so much. Take care, everyone. Be safe.
Bye.
Bye.